guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have the Hourglass Holiday release, and it's the Ambient Light Edit Sculptor palette, the large one and the mini one. So I have never ever bought the Hourglass Holiday release. I don't know, they just seemed like too light for my skin tone, so never ended up buying them. Also, I do have some of their powders, like I have the dim light, and I've been using this religiously for the past couple of years and I really like it. And I also have their mood light powder, which is this nice pink powder that gives you a nice flush of, I don't know, like a pinky glow to the face. So that's what I've been using. And I also have one of their bronzers, and this is the Radiant Bronze Light Bronzer. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this bronzer, so yeah, it has shimmer in it, and at the time when I bought this, I didn't know much about makeup, or at least I didn't have certain preferences. It just looked pretty, and so I ended up buying it. But over the years, I've realized that I don't like too much of shimmer in my bronzers, so I've hardly ever used it. Anyway, so that's my Hourglass story. But yeah, this year, some of the shades, they seem like they would look pretty, and I really like the formula on these powders. They're very fine, and they make the face look nice and glowy. So I like their formula, but it's just some of the shades are just too light for my skin tone. This year, I have high hopes. I haven't tried this palette, so it's going to be kind of like a first impression of the new stuff that they have in their palette. So yeah, let's try this on, and if you're interested, keep on watching. So here are the two palettes. They look stunning. The packaging is just gorgeous. It's just this lovely gold metallic packaging, and I'm absolutely in love with this. I didn't like the last year's release. It was kind of, I don't know, it felt cheap, plasticky, but this one just looks so good. Now this one is the larger one, and it looks like this. When I first opened it, I don't know, it just felt smaller than what I was expecting. I don't know why I was expecting it to be a little bit larger than what it is, but anyway, they have these 6 shades in it, and it retails for $80, which is quite expensive. But I feel like these palettes are an amazing way to try out their formula, because each of their minis, I think it retails for $24. So their blush or the dim light, whatever it is, I think they are also 1.4 grams of product, or 1.3, I forget, but they retail for $24. And this one, I was checking, this is also, yeah, 1.4 grams each, and this is 80, so I think it's around $13 or something. Yeah, something like that. So that's why I feel like if you want to try the Hourglass formula, I feel like this is a great way of exploring their collection. This one has a bronzer. It's got 2 blushes, and these are like the finishing powders. So I think this one's dim light, I think. Yeah, one is dim light. I think this one's dim light, and this is diffused light. And this is one of their strobing powders, if I'm not wrong. It's the strobe powder, the glistening strobe powder, which kind of gives you this highlight to the face. So I have been eyeing this particular palette because of the diffuse light powder and the mood exposure, and I'm really curious to try this blush. Mood exposure is something that I've swatched in at Sephora for multiple times, and I really like this blush. I know this is a beautiful blush for deeper skin tones, or at least medium to higher skin tones, but I've never had the opportunity to buy this. So I felt like this year, since it was part of their holiday collection, that was the reason why I really wanted to buy this one. And the diffuse light, I feel like this is a lovely brightening powder, and so yeah, I just wanted to get this one as well. So we will try this. Now, talking about the other one, this one also has these lovely shades, and this intrigued me, this blush. It's called Mood Flush. I have never seen like a blush like this in their Hourglass collection, so this intrigued me a lot, and it looks pretty, really pretty, and it doesn't look too shimmery, so that got me excited. And this strobing powder, I feel like this one is going to be interesting, because I wanted to try the Hourglass highlighters for the longest time and never got the opportunity, and it's right here, so I'm so excited to try this one on. This is the bronzer. So this one also doesn't look like it's too shimmery, although I do see a little bit of specks in it, but not like the other one that I have here. So the radiant bronze light definitely is like super shimmery. So high hopes from this one. And this one is again a finishing powder, and it's called Soft Light. So again, something very new that is not there in the other palette. And this retails for $58, I think, and it's got 4 shades. So this is around $14 per, you know, mini size shade. And this one's also 1.4 grams of product. So again, I think again it's a very good deal to get this one as opposed to buying their minis, which is again $24, which is super expensive. So I kind of want to start with this teeny tiny one. So this is the finishing powder. Again, now the swatches on these, you might not be able to tell what they actually do. Yeah, these swatches actually have no value, but I'll still swatch it just to show you guys. This is the bronzer, and it looks, yeah, it does have a sheen to it. It's definitely not super glittery, but it does have some shine in it, right? Let's look at the blush. Ooh, that is nice. That's a lovely pinky blush, which is, yeah, it doesn't have any shimmer in it at all, which I really like. And the highlighter. So this one looks pretty pigmented. That is lovely. And these are like very finely milled powders. Oh my God, look at that shine. Love it. So I know that, you know, they are one of those that you won't see too much of texture even if you apply these powder highlighters. Now I can't wait to try this on, so let's get started. I think I will pick up this bronzer first. I kind of want to see how this looks. So I'm just taking this Hourglass powder brush and just apply this on my right side. Okay, this is definitely not shimmery, and it does show up on my skin tone as well, which is awesome. That is nice. This is so pretty. I changed my mind. I think I want to compare the bronzers together. So I'm going to pick up the larger palette. Taking the bronzer from the larger palette, and again, this seems darker, and it doesn't seem like it has shimmer in it either. Yeah, this is definitely darker than this one. So I'll just wipe my brush off a little bit and then use the same brush on the left side. That is lovely. It is so smooth, and it shows up on my skin. This is definitely a lighter version. I feel like this one's more pigmented, and it does not have shimmer. That was like the thing that I was most worried about, and I'm so happy it doesn't. Look at that. I'm already very happy. I think this one was the only thing I was worried about. I know the rest of the stuff in this palette is going to be awesome, and this makes me so happy. Oh, I love this. Now, since we are comparing both palettes together, I'm going to swatch this Mood Exposure blush somewhere here. This definitely feels, at least swatches, much lighter than what I was expecting it to be. Yeah, this one's definitely lighter. For some reason it looks a lighter pink. From what I remember, I think it was more plummy, but it's definitely more on the baby pink side, and this one seems to be more pigmented. Anyway, let's try it on. So I am taking this Mood Exposure shade and applying it on the left side. This is lovely. It has this very pretty light pink shine, or sheen rather, but I was honestly expecting it to show up a little bit more than what it is. It does look lovely though. So no blush, right? Let me put a little bit more. And even if I like apply a lot more, it doesn't look cakey. It applies beautifully because it's just such a fabulous formula. All right, now taking the other one, and let me get a cleaner blush brush. So taking this pink shade from the mini one and applying this on my right side. Yeah, this one shows up a little bit more. This is pretty. I love it. I am so glad I bought both, honestly, because they each have their own like look to it. I love it. Just applying this on my forehead. So it feels like this is also like a contouring shade, but only in the form of a blush. Just adds this lovely gradients or something, flush, like a reddish pinkish flush to the face while you're contouring. Love it. Kind of like, I'm liking this side better now. Initially I was liking this side better. Now I think I like this one better. I think this is a little bit darker than what I expected, and I think I might have overdone it a little bit on this side. Yeah, much better. Ooh, I like it. Now I kind of want to swatch this blush. Ooh, that is a lovely coral shade. That is pretty. Oh my god, this is lovely. And I feel like this is just gonna add this corally sheen to the face. Now, I don't know, should I apply this or should I just let it be? Maybe I'll just apply it on this side just to see. Oh, that is so pretty. It's got this shine to it, like a highlight, like a mild highlight to it. Oh, that is so, so gorgeous. I mean, I know my face looks so weird right now. It's got too much of product, but yeah, this is really, really pretty. I think I want to apply this on this side as well, just a little bit, just to equalize both sides. Wow. Now, before I get started with the highlighters, I want to try this finishing powder, and you have to be a little bit careful. I mean, this is one thing I don't like about this palette, because these are such tiny quads. The finishing powders are also pretty tiny, and you need a big brush for finishing powders and kind of swirl on these, and you have to be careful so you don't, you know, mess around with the other shades. But oh well, it's not a big deal breaker. Now these shades, I mean, you can't really tell on camera, but having tried their dim light formula, I know that these are like beautiful. They just work really well to, you know, set your makeup and just blend everything together, and I feel like it's already doing that. Yeah. And I have never tried the diffuse light formula, so I just want to take this and apply it on my under eye on both sides. I think it just does brighten up my eye. One thing I should have done was just used a better brush than this one, but I think it still shows up. Yeah. Next, I want to try the highlighters. So I'll take this strobing shade from the large palette and apply it on the left side. This is so pretty. I was thinking it'll be too dark and maybe not look that good on my skin tone, but I was so wrong. This is actually lovely, and I don't see too much texture, and I don't think it is like one of those super blinding highlights, but it still adds that beautiful shine to the face. I love it. Let me apply this on my forehead as well. That is nice. And now taking the smaller one, and this one I think is going to be blinding. So let's see. And applying this. Ooh, this is nice too. And I definitely feel like this is a little bit more pigmented or shiny compared to the other one in the larger palette. I feel like the result, like as I'm looking myself off camera, I feel like they both look pretty similar on the face. This side definitely is a little bit more pigmented than this one. This one's a little bit more subtle. Yeah, but they both look really nice. Suddenly my face is so glowy. I love it. I kind of want to do like an eye look with this palette. So I'll take this bronzy shade and just apply this on my crease with my Sonia G brush. Just gives me an opportunity to see this shade a little bit more on my face. It definitely has shimmer, but somehow this one is not bothering me as much as compared to the other bronzing shade I have. And taking the bronzer from this one and applying this on my crease. Oh, this is dark, and I actually really like this bronzer. I love it. And just to keep this eye look a little bit uniform, I will take this blush and just you know, add a little bit of shine and pigment to my eye. I will just blend this as well on both sides. This is such a lovely peachy pink blush. I love it. And then I'm just going to go into this strobing shade and just apply it all over the lid, just to add a nice shine to my eye. This is so lovely. I love this highlighter. These powders are so fine, they look so beautiful, and even if you have texture, like I have textured eyes, it looks so smooth. Oh, this is lovely. Alright, so I finished up my look, applied some eyeliner, darkened my lipstick, and I feel like both my sides look awesome, and I feel like both these palettes were super amazing. I can't really tell which one's what. I mean, there's not much of a difference except for the highlighter. I think the effect on both sides looks pretty similar. So I mean, you could go for either of them and you would be pretty happy. But I feel like if you are you know, my skin tone or darker, the larger one might make more sense for you, only because the bronzer on this one is a little darker, so it would, you know, help you contour or sculpt your face a lot better than the other one. And I feel like the bronzer on this one is a little better in the sense that it's more matte compared to the smaller one. So in that sense, I find this palette to be a little better than the other one. But I really like this pink blush and the highlighter on this. So if you want like a blinging highlighter compared to this one, I feel like the tiny one has a better strobing highlighter, and the blush also is pretty great actually. The bronzer is okay. I feel like this would look nicer on someone who's lighter than me, and even my skin tone. I feel like it did show up, but it was a little shimmery compared to this one, and I find matte bronzers a lot better. I feel like the larger one has something extra to offer compared to the smaller one. The only thing that I didn't like about this large palette was this strobing powder. I mean, it's nice, but I feel like the blinding or relatively more blinding strobing powder or highlighter in the mini one is a little better than this one, but still I think it adds a nice glow to the face, and it's pretty subtle, so I kind of like that. But I'm just basically nitpicking at this point. It's basically Sophie's choice if you have to choose one or the other. But I think I prefer this one. So this has been my first impression / review of the Hourglass Holiday collection. I hope the face comparisons and the swatches was helpful, and if you did enjoy this video, do give it a thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. And until the next time we meet, bye.